Hey loves, how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. First off, I want to say a happy Founders Day to the ladies, the devastating ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh, sorors. Today I'm here with my Founders Day video. Y'all know every year I do a Founders Day video. You guys, I will try to link all of my videos down below. First, I want to talk about my hair. This hair is from NADULA Hair. It is 3 bundles on a U-part wig. I made the wig hot glue style and I have a video on it. It is my last video, so you guys can look at my last vlog. The first 6 minutes are the details of this hair and me doing the hair on a wig cap. This is blown out. It still has a body wave texture to the bottoms of the hair, and I just really like it because I feel like it blends very well with my natural hair. So make sure you click down below if you want more details on how to get these extensions. And if you want more details on how to make a U-part wig and have a natural U-part wig, you can look down below. Let me first off say this, because I get this a lot in a lot of my Delta videos. I don't do a lot of Greek sorority videos, but when I do, I get the same comments of people bashing Black Greek letter organizations, talking about like them worshiping the organization more than they worship God. I see a lot of comments, and if you do not like Black Greek letter organizations, y'all see in the title what this video is going to be about. Please click off. Today in the videos, I'm going to talk about something that I feel like that's not often discussed. It's probably discussed sometimes, but not all the time, and it's the things that people don't tell you about being in sororities. Now, you know, some of the comments that people made, like some things may be highlighted in this video. So if you want to stick around and watch that, then you can, and I'm gonna kind of highlight it, and I'm gonna talk about all these points on things that people do not tell you when you join a Black Greek sorority. When you join a Black Greek letter organization, sometimes when people get those letters and they get those symbols, the popularity is like an instant thing. Like you can be like seen as a nobody on campus, like a ugly Betty on campus, and then once you get your letters and you get your symbols and you revealed yourself underneath that mask, like it's like you become an instant celebrity on your campus. It's the weirdest thing I've ever freaking seen in my life. But it's just some people, and I've had people that I've seen, and I'm like, you know, we used to be chilling back, and then once they become Greek and once they get those symbols, like it's like they untouchable. Like they change. It's like Beyonce to Sasha Fierce. It's like you already had it with you, but you had these letters come, and these letters gave you an extra boost in yourself. So that's something that people don't necessarily talk about, but sometimes on HBCU campuses, I'm not sure for PWIs, but on HBCU campuses, they treat themselves like celebrities, okay? They think they are above other people. I've had relationships that ended because of Greek life, and my relationships that ended were actually with people that were Greek as well. My relationships weren't with people that were just my friends before Greek and they weren't Greek. Like you have some situations where one of your friends will pledge, but you wouldn't pledge, and your relationships just break up. Sometimes when people, you know, sometimes people don't know how to balance the two. Like Greek life can be a lot. Like it could really, really be a lot. You can join a Black Greek letter organization and don't understand that once you get into that organization, like you have certain things that you have to do, such as community service. You have to be a part of a board. Like you have to have these different activities on campus, activities in your community. You have to go out in your community. Like you have to do a lot of things, and sometimes people don't know how to balance that, and sometimes they lose their relationships with their day ones and they end up changing. You know, your day ones be like, you done changed since you became Greek. Like, what's going on? Like, and a lot of Greek people don't understand that, but I've been on both sides. I've been someone that was just chill, and my friend became Greek before me. And I'm like, ooh, you act a little different when your line sisters come around. You act a little different, okay? Like, I even dated somebody, and after they became Greek, like, they stopped talking to me because, you know, they got more pickings in the bunch, okay? So sometimes when people join, they change. Like, they really, really change. And, you know, it's sad to say, but it happens. And a lot of people don't talk about it. But, you know, I just feel like, and I don't like calling people lame and stuff like that, but if you ain't have it before, letter shouldn't make you. Like, it shouldn't make you be nothing now. But it all falls in the count of some of these young ladies and some of these young males that worship, like, literally make them feel like they are superior to other people that are on campuses. And I know, like, I know this video might get a little bashing, but if you go to a HBCU, and I believe if you went to a HBCU or you go to a HBCU, you can 100% agree with me that sometimes when people join Greek, they change, and they change for a negative reason. So I'm gonna just put that right there. And this is gonna be this is the most honest video ever about Greek life. Now, this is something that people don't tell you. Now, of course, you know, the sisterhood is real. Like, a lot of, well, with my sisters is real, you know. But a lot of people don't tell you that sometimes you may not get along with everybody. Everybody is not going to get along. It's just, it is what it is. Like, there are several people that I can count on two of my hands that I just do not get along with in my organization. I don't see eye to eye with them. I just steer away from them. Like, at homecoming, when I go to homecoming and stuff like that, we don't talk. Like, it's like that. We don't say nothing. We don't talk. I'm not shaking your hand. I'm not hugging you. And it's not about not being sisterly. It's just about you just understanding that we will not see eye to eye, and that's just how it's going to be. Like, sometimes you just grow apart from people, and that's what I did. And some people don't want to talk about that. It's all, you know, it's all flowers and roses and stuff. Everybody gets along, and everybody is happy, and everybody, you know, we all kumbaya, we all sing our Delta hymns, we're all duck walking, we're all ooping. But that's not the case. Sometimes you just gonna have somebody in that organization, in your chapter, that you just don't get along with. And sometimes when it comes to that point that y'all don't see eye to eye, and they done tried to mend over and over and over and over, because they try to mend me with certain people over and over and over, and I'm just like, no, I'm done with it, okay? I cut off family. I cut off a sister too. You are not going to mess with my mental health whatsoever. Like, I'm not arguing with you about nothing. I don't understand why this is not the highlight. A lot of people think, and I think this is because of the movies and the films that are out here, but a lot of people don't know about the service that you have to do once you get into a Black Greek organization. Now, when I first joined Delta Sigma Theta, I think it was that next day, I think we probated, and then that next day we were electing offices. So I became the treasurer, and I was the physical and mental health chair. So, like, as soon as you get into the organization, you have your president, your vice president, you have your secretary, you have your sergeant at arms, you have your treasurer. Like, you have all of these people, you have your chairs, like, you have all these things. You have a budget that you have, and you have to put on events for your school. You have to make sure that you have not only events for your school, but they give you, like, I'm gonna talk about my HBCU. We have weeks at our school. We had a Crimson and Cream week, and we had a Delta week. Like, we had 2 weeks of the school where we had events for all the students at the school. Then we had to do community service. We had to do fundraisers. We had fundraiser chairs. We had a hospitality chair. In every homecoming, you had to have a hospitality room for all the Deltas, not just your chapter, but for all the Deltas that came. Like, a lot of people don't talk about this part, when it comes to sororities and stuff like that. But you do have those different offices, and you have those things that you have to do. And if you don't do those, there will be repercussions. Like the partying, the strolling, the step shows. Yes, I was the step master. Yes, we had step shows, but those step shows we did were a part of our fundraising. We did step shows to put money back into the chapter. Like those step shows that we went to, we weren't doing them for free. We were we were stepping at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but we had a check at the end of it to put back into our organization. So that was the reason why we did a lot of stroll-offs. We did a lot of step shows. Like, we just did not do that for fun. And to be honest, we never did a step show or a stroll-off for fun. It was never fun, especially with me being in charge. My line sisters, they probably hate me to this day because I did not play those games, okay? We were at practices for probably like 10 to 2 o'clock on school nights, Monday through Sunday, getting it in, and we won every single show. But, you know, I digress. But anywho, so you have to do those things. And if you don't do those things, you may not be in compliance. Because it's important to stay in compliance. You have to make sure that you are, when I say these sororities and these fraternities, they are businesses and they're ran like businesses. If you don't do certain things, like you have to make sure your books is straight. If your books is not straight and you don't do your, I'm not gonna say taxes, but if you don't do everything like you're supposed to do, you might not be in compliance. And another thing, that's just with the organization. Now with the school is another thing. If your organization do not have a certain GPA, you cannot be in compliance. Like, it's so much that goes into like the education, the academic part, and the service part that people don't talk about. But that's why a lot of chapters get suspended. People think that these chapters are only getting suspended for, you know, fighting or hazing and things of that sort. It's a lot of people getting suspended because they're not academically set, or they're not financially set, or they're doing things to incriminate themselves within their chapter. A lot of people frown upon it, and I just don't know why. So you have people that come to school sometimes, and I even see this on my videos sometimes when people come to my Greek videos, they be like, oh, I never heard of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. I never heard of this. I never heard of that. And then some people, you know, probably didn't grow up in urban areas or probably didn't have Greek people in their neighborhoods. Like, I was able to have my step coach in middle school. She was a Delta. She was a Delta, and she was part of the chapter that I pledged in. So I was able to be around them and see how they were. My aunts were Deltas. My cousins are Deltas. Like, I have a family full of Deltas. So I've seen that growing up. Some people don't see that, and that's a problem. And this is what makes me mad, that a lot of people, they really don't talk about. A lot of people want people to be discreet with one organization as soon as they come to college. And I feel like that's the dumbest agenda ever. And, you know, they don't want them to, you know, and I'm gonna tell you how you could get around it. But the thing that I hate about it is that, you know, in order for people to do the research, it's research on the internet, of course. You can find the history, you can find out who did this, you can find out the founders, you can find out the colors, you can find out the motto, you can find the symbols, you can find out all this stuff on the internet, but you can't find the soul of the people on the internet. You can't find the actual bond on the internet. You can only see those things, but you can't feel it. So for me, you know, not only was, you know, it about the information and the history, it was about the feeling that I had once I stepped inside of the room full of the Delta. You know, some people, they don't know about Greek life. So I personally feel like people should, of course, do their research. That's what Greeks love to tell you, especially them snooty, snobby sorority girls. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. But it is about how the people on your campus represent the sorority as well. So this is how you get around it. There's a lot of activities and a lot of programs that are supposed to happen. Now, I don't know nothing about these new Greeks, but there's supposed to be programs that happen throughout the week. At my university, we did a lot of shared programs. So you would have like, and that's how we got around it at my school. At my school, people were more so like, you come to the programs, you get to know these people. So we had a national pan week. And during that pan week, you had all the sororities on the panel. So you can go and you can get a feel of Zeta Phi Beta. You could go get a feel of Alpha Kappa Alpha. You could go get a feel of Sigma Gamma Rho. You could go get a feel of Delta Sigma Theta. Like, we had those. We even had, like, you know, pretty devastating events where you had the deltas and the AKAs do events together. Like, we had those things so that you can go and meet other women in those different organizations. So that's how we got around it. So you can actually get a feel of those people and you can see if you like them. Now, I'm starting to see a lot of new Greeks only, like, they're separating themselves. They have only Delta events and only, you know, AKA events and only SG Rho events and only Zeta events. And I think that's so stupid. Like, do more things together so that more people can get a feel, because that's the only way they're going to actually know if that's something that they really want. Because, you know, even though it's all about the history and how you feel about that chapter, you know, the people do represent, like, those people on campus, y'all do represent us, and y'all supposed to represent us in the most highest way as possible in order for these people to actually understand that this is the Delta that I read about. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't always, you know, I didn't always have that feel like, oh my God, I love the Deltas on my campus. I ain't feel like that. I just knew that that's what I wanted, and Delta was in my heart. I knew that, so I had to do what it takes. I had to get there. But if you don't have that, you know, if you don't have those people that you read about and they're not the face of that, then sometimes people steer away from that organization. That's why they go towards a different organization. But yeah, that's my take on that, and that's my advice to those that want to, you know, window shop and go around. Just go to some of those events and get a feel of those girls. Speaking of other organizations, so competition with other organizations, people don't want to talk about that. I don't understand, like, people don't tell people about the competition. Once you get into into an organization, there is competition. There is competition. Now, sometimes it's healthy competition and sometimes it's not. Like, we've been in a situation where we have gotten blow for blow. I'm just being totally honest. It was blow for blow. It was the Deltas versus K's. I remember this. It had to be 2014. Capo Arena, Fayetteville State, 1200 Murchison Road. Okay? It was a fight, blow for blow. In the Capo, Nucky B. Buck was playing. Like, it was the craziest thing. Everybody strolling and stuff like that. They decided to stroll on our song. We end up getting into a whole fight. Like, when I tell y'all it was a crazy fight, it was a whole blowout. People don't talk about that. Sometimes, like, I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's healthy competition, and sometimes people just don't even get along, and it's the dumbest thing ever, but it happens and people don't talk about it. Like, sometimes people do, like, they be setting, you know how people be talking about, oh, it sounds like the Bloods and the Crips. Sound like the Bloods and the Crips. Sometimes you be at the cable, or you be at your little Greek thing, you be dancing and stuff, and then you see an AKA eyeing you. You be like, what in the world is you looking at? And then, like, you have the people hyping y'all up, and then y'all end up getting into it. You like, what the heck? I thought we was cool. And then, like, honestly, y'all be in the calf 2 days later, and everybody laughing and kikiing together. It's the weirdest thing, but it is a lot of competition, especially when it comes to stepping and strolling and stuff like that. It is a lot of competition, and people like to sugarcoat it, but it happens. It really, really do happen. It's a lot of shade and fakeness when it comes to other sororities. And, you know, it is what it is. People don't want to talk about it, but it is what it is. Some people in organizations. Now, this is like one of the realest topics that I want to talk about, and I'll probably do a separate video on it. But there are some people in organizations that worship the organization more than they worship God. Now, you have a lot of people that join Black Greek letter organizations, and some people that join Black Greek organizations, they've known about these organizations since they were little. They have fathers, like they're probably what we consider legacy. So they know about the steps, and they know about the people in it. They know about the purpose, and they know about the history. Some people have that. Then you have some people that join because they like the colors. Some people that join because they like the popularity. You know, I've seen a lot of denouncing videos, and every single person that made a denouncing video all said that they joined the organization because they like the color. They said they joined the organization because they wanted to find new friendships. They said they joined the organization for, you know, for business purposes and things of that sort. But they didn't tell, you know, it was nothing personally within to why they wanted to join the organization. And they didn't know the purpose of the organization. Now, you know, I've seen people talk about rituals and things of that sort, and I've seen people talk about a lot of the practices that happen in Black Greek organizations. Now, the only practice that I can speak on is the practices that I went through, and never in that time have I ever said that I would worship the Minerva, I worship Delta Sigma Theta above God. Never have I ever said that within anything. You know, a lot of people don't want to talk about that, especially people that are Greek today and people that stand firm in Greek. I'm not going to let somebody that say that they denounce their letters because they feel that people are the devil that are a part of Black Greek organizations. I'm not going to let them talk bad about me and talk bad about something that I believe in, because I feel like a lot of people in Black Greek letter organizations they're doing good things for their community. They make a purpose, and they have a good stance on what they believe in, the culture, and helping others. So for me, it really burns me because we did all our stuff in the church, okay? And we was in the Baptist church, okay? Like, we ain't play those games, okay? And we still had church with the Deltas. That wasn't what we were a part of, and we never, and I'm just speaking of my chat, I ain't never felt or ever worshiped the Minerva or Delta more than I worship God, the Father, the Christ Almighty, okay? I believe in God. Next thing I want to talk about that people, you know, people might not talk about regarding sororities and stuff like that. And I'm going to just close on this because I've been talking a lot. But I want to talk about frat parties. A lot of people don't talk about frat parties, and I don't understand, but I think it's very, very important for me to talk about this. And I'm not saying this is what all frats. Remember, this is not all. This is some in some cases. But a lot of times, you know, you have to look out for those older frat boys. Once you become a new fresh Greek, and we consider those neos, you're like fresh meat all over again, okay? And you'll have older Greek men, like older frat boys, that are fishing for you. So when we used to go to parties and stuff like that, we never went to parties alone. We always linked up at parties and stuff like that, because they will try to give you oil, they'll try to give you nuke juice, they'll try to give you a lot of stuff. And we just were very like, we were very, very cautious, like, of our surroundings and things of that sort. Yeah, we drunk. Yeah, we had fun. Yeah, we did our thing, like, when we was Greek, well, when we was on campus and stuff like that. But we were very cautious of our surroundings. And I say this because, you know, there has been situations where a lot of girls, sorority girls, have been on campus or at these Greek parties, and things have happened to them. And this is for regular girls, and this is for Greek women as well. These have happened to them with a lot of these frat boys, and no one is speaking up about it. And I just want to say this, and I'm closing on this video because it's starting to happen more than I would like. You know, I don't have Twitter anymore, but I've seen like 2 or 3 threads going on Instagram so far of girls saying that something happened to them at frat parties. I can remember myself being uneased at some of these parties. Like, I can remember me walking into a Q party and I see a Q biting a butt cheek, having a girl in the air with the legs and the thighs all in his face. Like, I can remember seeing this stuff. So for me and someone saying that this happened to them, it's hard for me not to believe it. So I just want to say this. when you go to these parties, and a lot of people don't tell you this about joining, especially if you join and stuff like that, you know, you're at a higher risk for things to happen. And I'm not saying this is a part of being in a frat or being in a sorority and things of that sort. I'm just saying, just be careful. Be careful when you go to these, when you road trip. We road tripped a lot. We will go to different colleges and stuff like that, meet other Greeks. Be aware, okay? Be aware of your surroundings. And I'm gonna close on that. Love you guys. Ooh.
Can we stay home tonight? Try something new tonight. Hey, this drink got me feeling right.